So much energy. And now, a collapse into a definite reality. So much energy lately. And it happened suddenly. And we're going to witness things, whether in our personal life and in the world right now. And they could go either way. You want to be like the water right now. It is about to happen suddenly. I'm going to be talking about this. And you feel this in your body. All animals are able to pick up on vibration and frequency. A lot of physical things and electronic things might break in your life. I'm going to share about my journey. It's unbelievable what's been anything breaking randomly in your home. So there is an influx of energy that has been building and building and building. When it happens suddenly, we've already been going through this. Some of us have been going through this for a year. And it builds and it builds and it builds, but it's always a moment. It's always suddenly. And then you can't go back. Certain moments in life carry a frequency that feels different than what is normal. Nothing in life is actually normal. Usual. We're in that frequency now. And that's why on your journey, you want to be very in tune. The more that you are feeling clearly, if you detox yourself, you start to pick up on other energies, right? The clairs, if anyone is new, your clairsentience, get your clairs up, bro. Lion Teach, I'm very grateful for the super chat. Thank you. Love always wins. Organic, real, and true. There really is no other way to be. Grateful to be alive, healthy, strong, mind, body, and soul. Stay blessed, family. Beautiful. Thank you so much. These are the things you got to be. What's important in life? What is really important in life? So many people in the modern society are connected to the matrix. And a lot of the reality is being washed away suddenly. Suddenly. We're going to be discussing this today. We're live on the podcast. I'm very grateful if you could click the like button in the now moment. This will help this reach other people that need to hear it. Too much energy has come in. Too much. Sometimes we need activational energy to get the ball rolling. Things need to marinate in the background. It could marinate in the background when it comes to maybe jobs or systems of the world, relationships, anything. But any one of these things, it's a sudden moment. It's a sudden, coming forth, if you will. And then it's a quantum shift. And then your reality is you're in a totally different existence. And it happens suddenly. And a lot of people might be, like myself, experiencing things breaking. The other day, I shared with the Patreon community how a plate just randomly cracked. I just had it in the sink. I was going to wash it. It was just sitting there. There was nothing else in the sink that could have broke it. And I turn the water on. I pick it up. It just cracks in my hand. Plate just cracks. So last night, I got my phone on the charger. Right? Got the 528 hertz playing as I usually do. And this here, I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if the mic's picking it up. Okay, this here charger explodes. Okay? I'm trying to sleep. All right? Maybe someone has electronics, okay? I know there's something exploded in this is what's going on. Okay? So you might have electronics that randomly, so now, sometimes we wake up in the middle of the night. I'm in a fog. I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on. What's going on? So maybe you're experiencing this. So these are the little pieces of evidence, all these weird things. I hope you comment down below. Are you witnessing random stuff like exploding and breaking for no reason? E. James, thank you so much for the super chat. E. James writes, super strength coming online. Absolutely. That was yesterday's lesson. Got to lift the hammer, James. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Very grateful. So there has been an influx of energies, and we see that whether Schumann resonance spikes yet again, solar flares, planetary alignments, everything carries a vibrational signature in the quantum field. We are in this quantum field. Really experiencing it, knowing those that have been tracking the Schumann resonance. Anything I'm sharing is new to you. You want to learn, you click subscribe. You can do it right now. I appreciate that. We live in this cavity, okay? There's a cavity that we live in that creates the Schumann resonance, right? From the surface of the earth up to that electromagnetic dome above our head, known as the ionosphere. Some people call it the firmament. And so that Schumann resonance, we are in this field. And just because we can't see these things, you can't see these things. Sometimes we can't see the solar flash. You can see the light of the sun, but we see invisible light. And however, the visible light is only a small fraction, very small, of the electromagnetic spectrum. So those things that you pick up on, and that's why when you get your spiritual senses on, you actually will feel the energy of other people. So right now, certain moments in life we know will carry a frequency that feels different than from what is normal or usual. You will see more emotional / energetic charge. All right? Like my charger that explodes. Oh my God. You can't make this stuff up, okay? So anyway, eventually went back to sleep. And I'm saying, what's going on? Celestial Gatekeeper, thank you so much for the super chat. Doomday Fishing is beaching. Thanks, Mike, so much. I don't know, maybe, what do you mean by that? But thank you so much. I want to know more about that. Thank you so much, Celestial Gatekeeper. I do see some fish are beaching themselves. Sometimes we see animals, right? Study the animals. What are they doing? Right, birds, a lot of birds flew out of here. We had a massive hurricane coming through a couple years ago. The bird watch, all the birds knew to get out. So you are feeling these shifts inside your body, okay? Clarity, beached or fish, very interesting. Got to look for the signs. Got to look for the signs of the times, right? Signs of the times. Clarity creates transformation. You are transforming into a beautiful butterfly. Are my beautiful butterflies in the chat right now? Yeah. You're transformed, and we are able to transform through clarity. And I'm really going to be breaking this down to a fine powder today. It's all part of our journey. There's a lot of balance of the divine masculine and feminine for all people. And it's all about balance. And what we're seeing in the world is polarity, right? We see a lot of WARs going on, right? All the negativity. And there's going to be a finite, there's going to be a sudden, this is it. This is the timeline. Is it going to be love or something else? Don't know. And when you reach 0 point ascension, watch my videos on it. You're just gonna let go of the reality. I'm actually here just to observe and come to terms with that. And there are things that are going to happen through many people that are tuned in, your personal everyday life. Always remember, especially if you're on this channel, and I try to teach with authenticity. Some people will just say one thing, but you don't know what is your journey. So I try to present it so you understand your journey. You know, you might be the person that is, you've done everything. You're just receiving. You're receiving the message. You're receiving the apology. You're receiving the abundance. Or you're the person that has to do it. So you know your personal life. Okay, sometimes you go out there and people are waiting for something and they're not supposed to. You have to know thyself. You have to know thy journey, right? This is a time period of unfinished business, baby. Unfinished business is coming to the surface right now. It cannot be stopped. Something massive. Hold on. Fallen Star writes, 2 oarfish appeared South Baja at San Andreas fault line, earthquake and tsunami warning. Very interesting stuff. You know, I think the more that you, and there will be people that don't get this, and that's cool. I'm here for you, and you can choose to ignore it or accept it, but we're still going towards the truth, whether you want to accept it or not. For those that are on the cusp, I'm here to get you to where we're going. Poet Records, 144 Records, thank you so much for the super chat. Love you, bro. I love you, bro. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for that. So in your awareness, in your conscious awareness, you're going to become aware that Mother Earth, this Earth that we live on, has a consciousness. You're going to realize that sun, that solar flash that's flashing off, that sun has a consciousness. And you cannot run or hide from these things. I shared this, I go to the beach. I'm a big beach goer. I meet some of you out on the beach. And you think you're a tough guy or a tough gal, and you're going to fight against that with that massive wave. That wave is going to knock you on your backside. So when this earth shakes, when humanity's not doing the right thing, disrespecting, we live in this world which has a consciousness. I guess this is a thing. I don't watch much of the news, so I'm learning this right. Sonia writes, Japan, there's beach oarfish. Okay. Signs of the times, I guess. Signs of the times. Yeah, and like I was speaking to someone, and she goes, yeah, don't believe the hype. The sun loves me. All right. And some people, they've lived their whole lives. They're hiding in the basement, some people pay for their own prison. You got to spend $500 for those fancy sunglasses. I haven't worn sunglasses in years. What is that thing over there? Right? Grab that. It's a different reality. People are in totally different realities according to the programs that are running in the background. This whole lesson right now is about the subconscious and what's been happening in the background. It happens suddenly, but it happens suddenly in the physical. Listen carefully to the message. It happens suddenly in the physical because it's been brewing. It's been brewing in the subconscious. It's been brewing in the invisible, and that's what we're going to be learning very powerfully this year in the Our Everyday Lives YouTube channel and Facebook. The invisible is exponentially greater and more powerful than the visible. And that goes to, people that are connected to God. That's why the invisible, it's so much more powerful. Then you have to come into your I am presence. If you did not watch yesterday's lesson, I hope that everyone really sits down, focuses on it. It is the only way, and that lesson will never change. No matter what happens in life, no matter who wants to say this, that, or the other thing, that lesson will never change, right? I'm going to be here, right? So remember, over the course of time, that time, linear time, is actually precious, and the truth always lasts. You watch that lesson and watch it on repeat and fix that subconscious and get that in there and get that into the lifestyle and be that embodiment, and your life will change. Right now, this is the time. It is the eye of the tiger. Papa Smurf, what's up? Papa Smurf, I love you. All right. So this sudden action comes from unfinished business, baby. Yeah. And some people feel this, and it's always the micro and the macro. So the unfinished business, things have been brewing in the background for your personal life and for the collective. It's been marinating, delicious marination in the background. Suddenly is very powerful. And, you know, some people hear this term, suddenly, or God moves suddenly. Hand of God moves suddenly. Suddenly means a collapse into a single definite reality. And that's where the merging of the divine feminine and masculine must occur. Otherwise, you just have absolute chaos. Because eventually, as you go through the quantum, as you go through the divine feminine energies, there must be the divine masculine direction, and there must be a definite finite reality, because there's no other reason for this. So we're seeing this. And I know a lot of divine masculine, like myself, struggle with this, going through the chaos that you have probably experienced so much quantum chaos. Full video on the channel page for quantum chaos in the past year. Everything is in balance. So you have to have the direction. You have to have the direction, right, of the conscious. In the background, the subconscious. So all these things play a role. We've seen things with the sun and the moon also represents conscious, unconscious, subconscious. We have to, and once we get into balance, then and only then the reality will change. Otherwise, it's not in form. It's just floating around. Then you got quantum chaos, and some people, it just continues to go, and that's why things are hidden in the darkness. I did a very powerful lesson. You probably, maybe won't see it anywhere else. You should check it out. The difference between a timeline collapse and a timeline shift. This is a collapse. This sudden change changes the direction of your life. And I feel that many people that are tuned into this, and you could leave your comments, you almost get driven banana sandwich because of the limbo. You felt like you're in a holding pattern for over a year now. And you might resonate with this. Any change is better than no change at all. How many people resonate with that? Especially in this now moment, especially after what we've all lived through. Okay, so that's why there is a absolute energy that blasts through. It has to blast through that brain, has to blast through the subconscious programs. Now, remember this as we are approaching this quantum event. Pride or fear destroys love. Pride or fear destroys any opportunity that you had for love. Now read it backwards. Now read it backwards. Wake up. Life is a series of choices that we make that reveal our content of character. Everything is part of the matrix. Pride, fear, and love are all part of the matrix. But above it all, and a lot of people resonated with that very deep teaching that I gave the other day, 0 point ascension, its truth is above all. And love can conquer all, but it is the person, I go very deep on this channel, if that person is going to live with pride, they're going to live in their ego, they're going to live in fear. Some people, they do things out of fear. You actually destroy love. Love could be destroyed, absolutely. But now read it backwards. Love destroys pride, fear. There was a man on YouTube a couple of months ago. He was out there. Oh, it was me. It was me. Yeah. And I said this was coming. And you could go on my channel page and you could see it. It's one of my top videos in the past year of how many people watched and resonated with it and all the other things. And it is the simple choice. If humanity at the micro and the macro level, do you choose fear or unconditional love? You choose. And I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to watch it all play out. I already made my decisions. I said and did everything I needed to do. And it's all documented into the Akashic Records. What's the Akashic Records? Watch my video. If you're on this podcast today, you're listening, you're focused, your attention, you're becoming the enlightened man or woman. You got to know, and that's what I'm here to share with the world, for the everyday life people. You're worrying about your image on Instagram, girl. You better worry about your image in the Akashic Records. You better wake up. Better wake up real fast. This guy's so strong. Evolve Wellness. Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so grateful. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truthfully are. Carl Jung, much love always. Thank you so much, Evolved Wellness. We are evolving our wellness. If you want to learn the new healing modalities that I practice in my everyday life, you want to become healthy in 2026 and beyond, you click subscribe. God, it's Margaret, writes, preach. We're preaching today. I'm so grateful for the divine feminine. Hit the violet flame if you're here. We need all the violet flame in the world right now. We need all. Again, it's the micro and the macro. I could sit back as the king. I just sit back and watch. I sit on my throne and I watch what goes on in the news. I watch what goes on in my everyday life. This world's a disgrace. It's pathetic. We need every divine feminine to blast that violet flame real strong right now. Real strong. It's so, all I got to do is observe. I'm just going to observe. I'm going to sit back. It's fascinating, Joe. And again, we don't want to focus on the negativity, but when you see these things, it does something inside of you. It activates what's called the Holy Spirit fire, as we discuss on this channel. It's blazing, light warriors. No, it is blazing. And it is real. There's really anything outside of you. There's nothing you could do. Everyone knows where they are in their life, the seeds that they planted, the sowed, so on and so forth. This is a big expansion event right now. However it plays out, it could be an expansion in positivity and love, or it could be garbage. But it is happening one way or the other. Some people remember that beautiful video I did, how God reveals the truth to you. One way or the other. It's always you. It's always you, humanity. Humans. It's always you. Okay. This is a time period. So this is there's an underlying energy. This had to be the way, because it has to marinate in the subconscious. And all of this, so if you look at the world, a lot of things have been marinating since like 2016, right? Look at and then maybe something in your life's been marinating for a year. All different types of stuff. This is not a time to return to the past, but now to step fully into the truth of who you are with how much you've grown in the past year. And some people, they're just looping the same thing. Some people did no growth in a year. On my journey, I'm focused on growing on a daily basis. Do you have this mindset? And you're going to want to click subscribe if you do have that mindset. Every day I'm growing, I'm expanding, I'm getting closer to truth. That's my goal. That's my target. That's my North Star, if you will. I'm focused on the truth. Focus on falling asleep beautifully when my head hits the pillow at night. Sometimes we wake up in the middle of the night. Sometimes we're woken up by crazy stuff that's breaking, and I give up. So you might be experiencing all these weird things that are happening. Seriously though, if you have experienced anything strange randomly break for no reason in your home, comment down below, because that helps our community as we're going through this. You say, yeah, this happened for me too. There is so much energy that's building up. I'll tell you what, it's not going to break. I tell you what, it's not going to break. It's not going to break you. You know, I've been through an onslaught for a sustained period of time. And I could just sit here and say I survived it all. It's the threshing floor that God has put us on to make us come into our authority. That was a good one. And all of our journeys, everyone that's listening to this podcast today, all of our journeys are not the same. But you went on that threshing floor in a specific area of your life that God wants you to be the authority in. I have a journey. Like it's not my, and that's why a lot of people actually have to hear this, because this is the way of the world. You want to focus on the things that God tasked you to do. So I know whatever it is, these are the things that God tasked me to do. And those things over there, I'm going to refer to someone else. Too much ego in this modern society. Too many people have a ring light. They go in front of the world and they have no idea what they're talking about. Okay? If you resonate with that, I appreciate if you smash the like button with your hammer. Don't break your phone though. I appreciate that. No, this is just the way of the world. So that's why you, the individual, you, the person that is going on their ascension journey, your awakening, you have to go within. You have to be you have to go to the internal, not the external authority. You know, I'm going to reshare that video I did not too long ago. I share about my journey, the journey of the true spiritual awakening journey. Not the BS one. There are so many pitfalls that you could be dragged into. And time again. This is an intense time. I'm not saying it's not. It's very intense. I've been through it. I'm living through it now. But I've gotten to this place, especially in recent times. As I'm leaving this message, we just had two very potent eclipses in the most potent year of the history of humanity. This is the 1 year. It is a new beginning. However, this new beginning, I don't know how it's going to play out, but what I teach is the energy theme. This will be a new beginning, however it plays out, no matter what. No matter what, there's a new beginning, right? You understand the lesson. So you get to zero, but where you just might be disconnected, which is actually a good thing, it's hard, but you become disconnected to everyone and everything. Because what is truthful, what is actually love, will come find you. Okay, come find me. You disconnect from you get to 0 point. You got to go down to 0. Then you go to 1. This is year 1. And the ignition of clarity, you want to have this clarity. And we did not have this clarity, but as part of the process, this is how we get to clarity. You cannot sit in the season any longer. If you are the enlightened man or woman and you're on this today, okay? I don't care what anyone else tells you. God works in seasons. It's not 100% your whole life, the whole thing. It's a season. And sometimes we have to go into the wilderness. Sometimes we have to go on the threshing floor. And sometimes we need to have true unconditional love. Everything is an experience for our life. And God will put you in these seasons so that you rise as the king and the queen. And if we don't get into balance and alignment and all this other stuff, then if the world burns, then it burns. And it will burn. Oh, I'm scared. The outer world is not real. It is a projection of the inner frequency that the majority of the collective has broadcasted. And you got to be real powerful. And you got to start broadcasting that frequency of love. Rosa, I love you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, you, I love you. Thank you for that. Very grateful. You know, I've reached a very powerful place. And, you know, a lot of things I can share from my lens. The hero archetype, the path of the warrior. And sometimes in life, you know, we say to ourselves, you know, I want to save this. I want to help this person. And the only thing you could actually do, brothers, is just be the lighthouse. Because you might waste all your energy on something that was just a distraction. You got to be real. You got to really go down this rabbit hole right now. And you're going to have to focus 100% on this. And time again, I see the consistency, the loops. You have to broadcast. You have to be the lighthouse. You have to broadcast, especially if you're the hero archetype. We all have archetypes. Like I have a brother in the gym. I tell him, he's probably watching me right now. I'll see him later. And I tell him, I say, you know what? I gotta be as cool as you, bro. He's as cool as the other side of the pillow. But we're still doing the same work. We're still on the same journey for our brothers and sisters of humanity. But I had to go on a different journey. A lot of people will never understand the amount of pain that I went through, how many times, but we have to go through this for our specific needs. It's like our specific nutrients. We don't all eat the same thing. You have to eat this way to be ultra spiritual. Ooh! You ever see those gaslighters out there? How you doing? How you doing? Now, we all have to take in specific things. So it's all these things in our journey. Like I might consume certain content that's specific for my journey. I don't watch this other content, whatever it might be. What we consume, okay? The chat is blowing up right now. Do you love an authentic, conscious community? You could click subscribe today. I appreciate that. I keep it at 100 here. One of my favorite comments I get is, I'm just here for the realness. Yeah. Just here for the realness. Okay. Yes, we build a spiritual immune system, Brandy writes. You got to have a spiritual immune. You got to be allergic to you know what. What are you allergic to? You got to be allergic to you know what. Okay. So it's a very powerful time, but the energy theme is really about unfinished business and stuff that's been lying dormant. And any person that's hearing this, you could say, you know, you've felt it festering inside, you know, whether it's a confession of love, an apology, you know, a mutual, you know, partnership of work coming together changes your life. But so many people live in the ego. So many people live with pride. So many people live in fear, actually. They're just scared. It's again, we say it's okay, but you know, it's really, it gets to a point where it's not okay. All right. And that's why, you know, I take the pulse of society. I'm just referring back to the community. I've gone through it, and many people I discuss, and you could share it as well. That's why you spend a lot of time alone, because you've been like sabotaged and so many times you can't trust anyone anymore. Anyone that wants to hear it, anyone that wants to share it. Doesn't matter. If you're a person that has morals, a person that lives in truth, and not what the mainstream tells you, just living in truth, or the standards, or being equally yoked, all these terms that are out there now. I get hip with all the terms now. It's just about truth, and a lot of the mainstream, the modern society, it truthfully is out of balance. And it was a simple. All these things are simple decisions, but it's so simple. But so many people they're loaded with pride. They're loaded with fear. They're loaded. They can't they can't do it. In a sudden moment of love, in a sudden moment, everything changes. And this has all been brewing in the background for a while. The quantum shift is always sudden. A definite reality, a definite one, not the one that's been hiding in the darkness, not the one that's staring from afar, the one that steps up. And you know what? Like we all critique. I could critique my life. I could admit the times that I was Mr. Nice, Mr. Love, right? And we all get tricked in this matrix. That's why I tell you I'm going to tell you time and time again over the years. You got to always go within. Nothing is ever a loss. They're only learns. And now once you have this mindset, it doesn't matter what happens in your life. It becomes the journey. And once you start, you're switching modes now. It's terrifying. You're switching your mode. And then you start saying, oh, wow. And if you could sit here and say, I learned so much from this experience. You're doing all right, kid. You're doing all right. And yeah, it's a deep decision. The world's going to make deep decisions. And that's maybe why we have these shaking in the oar fish that are washing up. I'm the best wrestler in the family, Alan. Alan, I don't know if you're here for the first time, Alan. I love you. Never forget this. No one can ever fuck with a man that has wrestled with God. Nobody. It's one of my greatest lessons. No one could touch you. No one. I could sit here forever. No one could ever take it from you, Alan. No one. Stop being concerned. Anyone that hears, stop being concerned with anything that disturbs your peace. You like that, right? No one will understand the amount of pain that I've been through in the past 7 years. It's the greatest 7 years of my life. Because I became the creator of my reality. Click subscribe, take the journey. Get your respect up, kid. This, whatever's about to happen, and it will happen suddenly. And will it be the most beautiful? That's why I don't care. I don't care no more. I know, and being the person, I'm very driven and stuff, but to reach this place where you just don't care anymore, it's so powerful. And I have videos on it, okay? Check out The Art of Letting Go, so on and so forth. We are at the precipice. The energy is so high, and you're gonna feel it bubbling up emotions. What are emotions? It's energy in motion. Bubbles up. You can only fit so much into the vessel, and no change. You can only fit so much into this reality, into this world. Maybe that's why the oarfish are washing up. Anyone else that I'm learning about it? To anyone else that wants to comment about the oarfish washing up, leave any information. I don't watch much of the TV. I just float out here with God, and I take the pulse of the everyday life people. I say, what's going on down there? What are the humans doing? So, yeah, I feel it now. And a lot of the quantum shifts, like the things that I express, like the plate breaking for no reason, like it's like, but then when you see, it becomes overwhelming when they become bigger and bigger, and then they might involve, and you say, what the heck, and all these things. If you are conscious and aware, some people are asleep at the wheel. So if you are a person, that's the point of this channel, is for the conscious man or woman. If you're observing reality, you're seeing, you're conscious about what's actually going on, it does become overwhelming. You're like, how does this happen? It's not rational. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. This is where we are. The event horizon. Yeah, it's the event horizon, and you feel it inside of you. It's a very quick Japanese lore. It's interesting. I mean, I remember, there was an earthquake in Japan years ago. I remember that. What was that, 2011? Energy builds up in this realm that we live in. Tesla called this a realm. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? But that whole outer world out there, it is your inner world. And when the collective, when we reach critical mass of the collective that all focuses their attention simultaneously, you create a constructive interference wave. Get out of the ego today and go to love. Get to connection today. Pride cometh before the fall. Look at the consciousness scale. You'll see it there. And then you'll fall down into fear, guilt, and shame. You'll fall right down. You'll fall right down. I got to keep my vibes high. I got to stick to authenticity. This is where we break free. It is the internal shifts. You know where you are in your life. We're not all on the same path. You might be the receiver of any of these things. You might be the broadcaster of one of these things. You understand how it works, right? You know your role in the past year, what journey you've been on, how much you've grown. How much you've grown post 2020. A lot of people woke up in the year of clear vision. And if you are the same person that you were in 20, you did nothing with your life. Anyone that is beneath you and gaslights you, oh, you're not the same. You're not the same. Look right at them and say, of course I'm not the same. And you are. This is our evolutionary journey. These are our everyday lives. And so it is. I love you guys very much. It's really been quite the journey. And, the inner, what you got to really focus on the feelings inside your body, and you know it and you feel it. And to get to 0 point, to not really care about anything anymore. I know that sounds a certain way, but it's actually very powerful. Just to not care, whatever it is. It's a very, very powerful place to be. It's very powerful. So we keep it real here. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate everyone. If today's message resonated with you, very grateful if you click the like button and click the subscribe button. We have daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, to help you become the greatest version of yourself. Anyone that did not miss yesterday's lesson, and that will pop up on the screen, really devour that lesson. And that lesson will never change. It's always the invisible, the subconscious, the programs above the physical, Sometimes you have to totally ignore the physical reality that's out there and go to your heart. I know some people struggle. I struggled with it too, but it is the truth. And all I could do is sit before millions of people and speak the truth without a teleprompter. Where is my teleprompter? Oh my God, I got to do a 48-minute live stream. I don't know where my my teleprompter is. Let's go to truth now. Where is that guy? Remember that guy? I couldn't even read the teleprompter. Should have just put me on the stage. I would have talked to the people. Janine Bergen, thank you so much for the super chat and the violet flame of the divine feminine. Thank you so much for the super chat and the love. I'm so grateful for that. Rosa, thank you so much. Love you, Light Warrior. I love you, Light Warrior. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone. And, really push this forward today. Live in truth. Love will overcome all these things. But you have to make the decision. Love? Fear? Which one? But upon the moment, it is a sudden shift. The timeline collapses into a definite reality. And it cannot be stopped. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, Light Warriors, just keep going. I love you very much. Check out the videos that pop up. Click subscribe. You never know when I come back on. There will be massive events that I will go live on to talk about, because people are going to say, what's going on? I love you guys. I'm grateful for all of your support. Bye for now.